Hey everyone, after waiting for almost 2 years for an iPad Pro, it's finally here. I also have two of the big accessories, the new Magic Keyboard and the new Apple Pencil Pro. So let's get right into it. I was going to start with the accessories, but I've been waiting to see the thin possible iPad. So let's go ahead and start off with the thinnest product Apple has ever made. Now, the one I ordered is the 11-inch in the 256 gigabyte storage in the space black. Now, when I pre-ordered, I didn't realize that Apple has two different versions of this iPad. A very tricky sales tactic if you ask me, but if you order the 256 or the 512 gigabyte storage option, you will not get the max specs. This version has a bin M4 chip, which means you have one less performance core and only 8 gigabytes of RAM. If you want the full 10 core CPU and the 16 gigabytes of RAM, you have to purchase the 1 or the 2 terabyte model. But let's overlook that for a second and continue. All right, we have some pull tabs. All right, here we go. Now, this is one of the thinnest products Apple has ever made, and right away when I pick it up, it feels very thin light. This one in particular, the 11-inch, is 5.3 millimeters thin, and it weighs less than a pound. Now, I did want the bigger display, but for me, the portability was more important than the display size. Now, one of the biggest upgrades on this model is that OLED display. And this particular OLED display is what Apple is calling a tandem OLED, which is two OLED panels, one on top of each other. Now, this makes it possible for this display to have 1,000 nits of brightness and 1,600 nits of peak brightness for that HDR content. Let's continue inside the box for now. Now, a nice touch by Apple is that this cord is now color matched to the color of the iPad itself. Nice space black USB-C to USB-C cord. And I really wish the design continued all the way into the power brick, but unfortunately it does not. Nothing else inside of this box, so let's go ahead and put it away. Oh, I forgot about this. No longer will we get stickers, unfortunately. Not that I ever actually use my stickers for anything, but in any case, we no longer get stickers with the iPad. And we'll continue with the Magic Keyboard. Once again, we have a couple pull tabs. Turn it around. Now the keyboard is heavier than the actual iPad itself, or at least it seems that way. So it's soft on the outside, but I believe in the inside, the palm rests are made of aluminum now. Oops, I opened it the wrong way. All right, let's get this fake iPad out of the way. One of the things that they said is that this trackpad is bigger, so it does seem bigger. The palm rests are definitely made out of aluminum. The trackpad is actually made out of glass, and it now does give you a haptic feedback. We also have the addition of the function row, which makes it easier for brightness, playback, music, and volume. It's very, very nice, very thin, very lightweight. We also have backlit keyboards, and I'm assuming as soon as I plug in the iPad, those keys will turn on. We also have the addition of a USB-C port right there. So that is really nice. Let me go ahead and pop the iPad on here so we can see how that looks like. Looks very nice, very MacBook Air feel to this. And right away, we can see that the function row does lock your screen, unlocks it. One of the things that I did notice is that function row is a little bit inconvenient to reach, but once again, we're gonna kind of overlook that aspect. I like the addition of that function row. It is underneath the iPad for sure, so if you have bigger hands, bigger fingers, you are definitely going to struggle to actually hit those when you need to. Let's move on. We're gonna go ahead and unbox the Apple Pencil Pro. one pull tab on this guy. Now this Apple Pencil Pro looks exactly like the previous pencil. Absolutely no changes were made visually. It looks exactly the same, sits just as tall. I mean, if it weren't for the lettering of the Apple Pencil and Apple Pencil Pro, you wouldn't be able to tell these two apart at all. Now, one of the most confusing things Apple has done is this Apple Pencil right here. Well, the Apple Pencil lineup in general. But before I get into that, let me go ahead and go over what's new on this pencil and what it brings to the table. There's a new squeeze function on the Apple Pencil, which will allow you to bring up tools in different apps. There's also a barrel roll functionality, which will be great for artists. I don't know how much I would use that personally, but it's there for you to use. Haptic feedback on the pencil is brand new. So there's this haptic engine right up here, which will give you haptic feedback. And the Apple Pencil also hovers, so you know exactly where you're at on the screen. The double tap function is still a thing, so if you double tap, you can switch between an eraser tool and your pencil/pen tool. In my opinion, the Apple Pencil lineup is one of the most confusing things Apple has going on right now. I know ever since Tim Cook took over, it's you make a product for absolutely everybody, more of a Samsung type of approach. And don't get me wrong, it has made Apple a lot of money, but it has also confused many consumers. Many don't know which Apple Pencil goes with their iPad, and Apple has a whole dedicated page on their website just to know what functionalities are between the 4 different Apple Pencils that are available and which iPads they go to. Many pencils do go to different iPads, but some are specific to a style or there's only one way to charge them. In any case, that wraps it up for today's video. Please consider subscribing so you don't miss any of the follow-up videos on how this iPad performs day to day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.